Richard, welcome back to the show. It's been a while.
Thank you, sir. It has. I think it's cold enough in both places. We're both wearing long sleeves.
Well,
So
no, exactly. At least you have
middle of
some
the year.
decent headphones. For those who didn't catch the pre-conversation, I was showing Richard my wonderful $5 headphones because I can't find my other headphones right now. They're my daughter's, so please don't laugh at me. It says Rock Jam. But don't worry, we're going to rock this interview. That's why I'm wearing these. We're going to rock this interview today, Richard. So, but Richard, how have you been on a serious note? Keeping well?
Yeah, really well. It's been obviously busy as always with Saito, but always exciting and always moving forward. So yeah, pretty good.
Right. Well, talking about moving forward, we have quite a few things to discuss today. So I suggest we just jump straight into it. So I hear whispers that we're going into the streaming. We're going to game streaming. We're looking at battling the Twitch users out there. So I mean, I'm curious. I mean, why don't you tell me a little bit more about this sort of new, is it Limbo streaming app? A bit of a peer-to-peer Twitch, right?
So basically, essentially by popular demand and or by team frustration, those two things combined, especially with just audio quality and the messiness of doing things on Twitter Spaces, and having the video call infrastructure there, it occurred to us, I think we threw down under a bus actually, that we could build a peer-to-peer version of a Twitch-style streamer. In fact, you could use it for Twitter Spaces. You can use it for anything where you want media to go out. And basically what it does is you form a swarm. So you've got a few people, say, on the call. They're sharing to peers. And then if you're receiving that feed, you can share it on to others. And the blockchain helps people locate each other, etc. We think it's really powerful, and it's got a huge potential just to demonstrate what you can achieve with P2P. This is the kind of thing people just assume, oh, you need an old school Web 2 model, central server.
Yeah.
Some companies try to monetize it either, as I would think, honestly, with a paywall or maybe less so with some kind of data mining, etc. And this is all pure peer-to-peer. It's you get something from the stream, you hand it on. So we're really excited about it. It's kind of in alpha at the moment. One of the issues is how to test it at size because you can't get 900 people to come along and deal with broken software. Yeah. So we're sort of testing it in onion skin, like trying to get more and more times where we're using it. Obviously, original tests are me streaming to myself, trying not to go mental, and then, we're sort of using it in the team. So that's really cool. We're really excited about that. And I think it's another kind of demonstration of how Saito's built different and the kind of things you can do with a big PKR network like Saito that maybe, an app isn't suitable for. So
another thing, migration to mainnet. It's an interesting topic, this one. I mean, let's talk a little bit more about the move to mainnet. I mean, you're supporting BEP20 tokens now. I mean, what's the change like?
Yeah, so we launched with just the ERC20 support. I mean, underneath that, BEP20 is a clone of ERC20. So we just, we started off with a very manual system just to make sure we were looking after everybody. We could reverse anything that went wrong. That's been pretty flawless. And so we decided just for those people who are holding BEP20 Saito that there's no reason they should be excluded. So we've just enabled that for everybody, and a couple of people have made use of that so far.
One of the things we've spoken about in previous episodes, has always been looking at, the reward, the sort of reward you would get from holding, or maybe even stay. These sort of conversations do come up. So, and there is something around rewards around the mainnet scheme as well, right? You've started giving out rewards under mainnet.
We announced, I think, last October with the kind of tokenomics update. We did that sort of 2 billion burn, or we dropped 2 billion of the overall supply. And we also announced there would be some rewards on mainnet. So the first of those went out, I think on April 11 or 12. And that's sort of roughly 6 monthly, 5% APY. So it's just something that's there for people who want to kind of really commit and push their tokens to mainnet. I would say to anyone who's interested, go to wiki.saito.io/tokenomics so you fully understand what's happening. And that's where we keep everything up to date around this, persistence curve, et cetera, et cetera. So don't just jump in and do it without thought. And always be careful of scams. There's plenty of people who hear anything like that and they jump in and they try and get you with something you don't need to do. So always go by official channels. Always check before you move anything. Your ERC20s or BEP20s are perfectly safe, and there's no urgency on moving those. But for people who do want to, wiki.saito.io/tokenomics has instructions that will let you know what to do.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I'll reiterate, watch out for scams, guys, because I'm seeing way too many people getting their wallets drained lately just through interacting with bad contracts more than anything else. I mean, still on the topic of rewards, nodes seem to be popping up in all aspects of crypto quite recently. I've been seeing lots of nodes come under a lot of GameFi solutions as well recently. So what's happening with nodes in Saito?
Well, we've just got a few people who have been asking more and more about that. So we've we've always balanced, like, obviously, if you're just running a smaller network with a few nodes on it, it's very easy to iterate quickly and to update and upgrade, etc. There's been a lot of demand around like getting nodes on the network. So we've started asking people to connect up to the staging network that we have.
Okay.
And we'll see how that goes and put the pieces in place to sort of, if we can be doing that without choking development speed, which I think people obviously also really want, then it's time. It's part of the maturation process that we've talked about as being the steps in this sort of era about getting everything in place to having people building profitable apps on the network. So coming along, good to see, great to have community participation and have their understanding about the challenges overall for the project, but also wanting to help and push it forward.
I saw something about community theming initiatives. What was that all about, Richard?
Well, it's just another case of people getting involved. They're getting really involved, and it's another kind of maturity step for us. We've had independent developers that have pushed modules, and this is actually kind of twofold. One of the things is that it's great to have people coming in and contributing some core stuff and testing out our ability to interface with that. I mean, it is testing us out. You've got to put systems in place. People aren't employees. You've got to have procedures that make it easy enough for them to do because you're not paying them to go through pain. Yeah. At the same time, you don't want them doing stuff that makes the team have to like clean up afterwards, etc. Super cool getting some theming done. But the great thing about it is it's also helping standardize all of the theming and the internals so that it's going to be way easier for anyone who's building new things to see, okay, this is how theming works. This is how to write my application. And this is how to make it look good in the stack. So just another step forward and something that's been really good to see. So you can go along in the app and just click on the sidebar, pick your theme and try the new ones out. And feedback in red squares always appreciated.
Here you go. Drop the feedback in, guys. Actually, I think we'll take this opportunity to say to everybody, if you haven't, make sure you smash that like button, guys. You smash that like button. There you go. There you see. There you go.
Yeah, I've been practicing.
There you go. See, that's the famous Richard smash. You don't see it very often.
No, only here, actually.
You should do it everywhere, Richard, everywhere. So I wanted to talk a bit more about press, actually. It seems like you've been getting quite a fair bit of good press lately. I mean, what's happening on the old PR front?
I mean, we get the constant cry sometimes of when marketing, especially from people that are expecting 4,000 frill-necked lizards in Telegram on one or in Twitter on one day. What we have seen recently is some really top quality press coverage, and there's more in the pipeline. And that's come through another community initiative where they set up a PR group. And they've been, we've got the hard work done of setting up spreadsheets, find all the podcasts, find out who to contact, get in touch with them, propose a good Saito interview with real content, etc. And that's, we had House of Chimera the other day. We're hopefully on the Shrem podcast soon. Something else coming out with Bonds. So there's more and more happening on that side of things. I was on Brave New Coin. So those things are the result, again, of the community getting behind the project and pushing it forward in an organic way. And we're doing that without, handing out tons of tokens to be dumped back on retail when that comes in. So really positive, and just can't say enough about how much we appreciate the work that group's doing. And also, you can't buy that. You can't buy organic, real, support and marketing. Yeah. You can pay an influencer, but you don't. You get a short-term.
It's temporary, isn't it? Whenever you're sort of ultimately handing over something to get something, whereas the organic feedback you get, the sort of organic engagement, it's always there. Actually, I've seen it quite a few times, with various projects where you have the natural community, which push the content out forward.
Well, and you end up with an internet that's built up full of decent content, right?
Exactly.
And so it stands the test of time. And I think, you see it gets views over time. It doesn't just blip one day and then it's gone and you have to pay for more.
No, and the interesting part is even videos that we've done over the last 2 years plus now, they still have comments. I still have comments coming on those as well. It's nothing. Right. It's nothing negative. It's always a positive comment. But it's interesting to see that people are still, like you said, it's never really a quick pump in views. It's views generated over time. It's natural engagement. It's organic. It's kind of what you want to see, where you see the interest building up. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was security initiatives. There's a 51% attack bounty I heard about.
Well, so it's not really a security initiative because Saito's secure by design.
That's what we wanted to hear.
It's kind of interesting and kind of cool thing that Fibonacci's legendary cytosine with a fantastic name and geometric progression behind him. Is it geometric progression? Anyway, Fibonacci's just got sick, I think, of being trolled. If I remember the conversation, don't hold me to that. I just said, look, I'll give you $10,000 if you can find the 51% attack against Saito. And he's right. It's worth putting. So David and then I said, we'll back that up. We'll do the same. And it's kind of a bit of fun, but it's also actually deadly serious. I think it's sort of can be frustrating how little attention people pay to that level of fundamentals and how important a shift it is. So we are having a little bit of fun with it, but we're also deadly serious behind it and saying, like, please come at us. Please have a look at Saito consensus. Anybody who's interested, please try and find flaws. We love nothing more than scrutiny. And this is a good way to get that message out. And it's something that people notice. And credit to Fibonacci's for being that based as a citizen that he will put his money where his mouth is. So.
And as a bit of 101 for those who might know, what is a 51% attack, Richard? Real simple.
So, I mean, a really good way to describe this that we've been coming up with recently is it's about orphaning blocks or orphaning transactions, right? So getting rid of transactions or stopping them coming onto the chain, one or the other. And a 51% attack basically says, as in Bitcoin, if you have 51% of the mining capacity, you can orphan anything. So you can get stuff off chain. Now that might let you cheat people. It might let you change history. It might let you do anything you want. Basically, you own the chain.
Yeah.
And the difference between proof of work, proof of stake, and any other mechanism we've seen, unless they're more vulnerable, is that Saito isn't like that. Because you don't lose all of your work on block creation, where like you do in mining. If you've mined and someone else creates a block, the mining you've done is worthless. Because Saito's not like that, you can't just costlessly orphan work, which means there isn't a 51% attack, which means you can do a lot of stuff in terms of paying the network with your security budget that you couldn't do otherwise. So fundamental improvements in blockchain is what we're all about. And this is one of them. Better design. You get rid of a problem that's just assumed to be native to blockchain.
There you go. Thank you for that, Richard. Now I'm educated too. although I did know what that was. It's for the viewers, guys. For the viewers. Well, look, Richard, thank you again. And as always, we always say, you know what, we're going to keep it brief. We're going to get out there, keep it punchy. But here we are, almost 14 minutes later, covering the topics we wanted to talk about.
That's a brief video. Brief for us.
But it's a good length. So, Richard, again, thank you for coming on. As always, love it when you come on and talk about Saito. And look forward to next month's catch-up, I suppose, in that case.
Yes, let's try and do it on the month.
There you go. See you then, Richard. Bye-bye.